As part of integrating our application with third-party services, we often have to add their script to one or more pages. For example, here we have the code for Google Analytics. Let me show you how we can integrate our application with Google Analytics. First, we have to decide where we need this code. If we need this on a single page, then we need to add it to that page. Otherwise, if we need it on a group of pages, we have to add it to a layout. In this application, we have two layouts. One is the root layout for the entire site, and the other for the admin area. We need this script on all our pages, so we should add it to the root layout. So let's go here. Let's come back and copy all this code. Now for Google Analytics, the script should be as high as possible. So right after the HTML tag, we paste the code. Now we need to do some surgery. First, we have to remove the comment. Now, instead of the script tag, we have to use the script component in Next.js. So let's change this to script. This component is defined in the next/script package. Let's add it. Good. Now I'm going to remove the closing tag and use the self-closing syntax. We have to do the same for the other script tag. And this one here, script. Good. Now here we have an error because the TypeScript compiler doesn't know anything about data layer. This is a global object. What can we do here? Well, with inline scripts, we often get these kind of errors. So the trick is to wrap this in braces and backticks. So what we are doing here is that we have this long string that we are passing as a child to the script component. The script component will parse this string and interpret it as JavaScript code. Okay? Now, the script component has a strategy that can be one of these values: after interactive, before interactive, lazy on load, and worker. What is the difference? Well, if we set the strategy to before interactive, the script is loaded before Next.js injects any client-side code to our pages. This is called hydration. So you learn that server components are rendered on the server and returned to the client. Next.js will then render and inject client-side code on our pages. This is called hydration. So if we set the strategy to before interactive, the script that we have here is loaded early on before Next.js injects any client-side code into our pages. We should use this strategy only for scripts that are critical and should be loaded early on. Examples are bot detectors or cookie consent managers. The other option is to use after interactive, and this is the default value, so we don't have to set it. With this, our script is loaded after our page becomes interactive, after Next.js injects client-side code, whether all or some of it, into our pages. Examples of scripts that are good candidates for this strategy are tag managers and analytics. The other option we have is lazy on load. And with this strategy, our script is loaded after all the resources on the page have been fetched. This is useful for background or low priority scripts that don't need to be loaded early on. Examples are chat plugins or social media widgets and so on. So in this case, we don't need to set strategy. The default value is acceptable. There's just one thing we need to do to clean up this code. As our application grows and we integrate it with more and more third-party services, this layout gets polluted with so many script components. So in that case, it's better to grab this piece of code for Google Analytics and put it into a separate component. So let's cut it from here. Now I'm going to add a component right next to our layout file. So in the app folder, I don't put it in the components folder because this is not a common component that we're going to use in multiple places. It's only for the layout. So we add it right where it's needed. We can call this Google Analytics script.tsx. Now let's create a component. And here we add a fragment. Inside the fragment, we add our script components. Now let's import it on the top. Good. With this component in place, we go to our layout. And right here, we add Google Analytics script. Now, anytime in the future we want to change the script, we know exactly where this code is located. So we can simply search for Google Analytics and we'll be right here.